I don't want to become a pastor and not be a Christian.
Say that some more.
I literally do not want to become a pastor and not be a Christian. I said, look, if I want to become a pastor, I have to make sure I'm a Christian.
Okay.
More than anything.
Okay.
I have to be, before God, I have to be a child.
Sure.
I have to make sure my relationship is solid and not find myself being caught in the whirlwind of the work.
Sure.
And find myself not being worked.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So,
and I think in church world, you can get caught up in the production and the show on Sunday.
Literally. Like, I think you can really get caught up on is the set, is that set, is that set, is that set. Okay, 3, 2, 1,
go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Type of a thing. And also, as a leader, I felt at that time I had to make critical decisions. Do we renew a lease? Do we do all of those things?
Yes.
You're sitting in that space and you realize I also don't have a community. Like, where is my community? Where is the people that I can say,
engage these
with? What do you think about this?
Yes.
So I had to intentionally now, I think it grew me up personally to come to a place of realizing that I've grown to a moment and a time where I need to decide and make conscious decisions of relationships I pursue, of relationships I invest in, you know, and value-driven relationships, not just... We're not going to sit here and talk about Sundowns and chips.
We
are talking about other people working.
We can talk about Sundowns and less about chips, but
it's okay.
Succession is top of mind for you. Your old man. So I want to hear everything.
Sure. Are you ready for everything? Watch him do so much. Sacrifice so much. Work so hard. Do what he has done to this point.
Yes.
With whatever little resources he's had, he has made it work.
Incredibly successful.
You know, you look at it and you're just like, okay, I mean, 25 books later, all of these things, and
Yes.
I said to him, what do you see this thing becoming?
Yes.
Tell me what you see this thing becoming.
Yeah.
You want to do what?
Yes.
You want to take over what?
Yes.
You want to be...
Yes. Should a successor of a successful senior pastor be their offspring? Hello, I am Dr. Maanda Tshifularo, and on today's episode of the SuperLead podcast series, we are joined by Vhugalahawe TJ Masakona, who has been a pastor for over 12 years and an aviation professional for 17 years. And in this episode, he reflected on his journey into ministry, offering insights specifically on succession and its leadership lessons. TJ, welcome to SuperLead podcast.
Awesome. Thank you, Maanda. So good to be here.
Lovely. We have been toying with the idea of being on studio for a while, and we're here.
No. I think it's no longer a toying idea. It's a real idea. this looks proper. It's beautiful. Love it.
Thank you. So we want to talk about succession.
Yeah.
Which is a key leadership conversation to be had.
Sure.
And you are, I think, perfectly placed to kind of unravel all of this. And we're going to talk your leadership principles and journey. But before we do all of that stuff, who's TJ? Where did you grow up? In this podcast, we like the story all the way from the beginning. So take us off.
So I was born all the way late in 1980s, 88 to be exact. So I'm 37.
Wow, the confidence, you know.
Yeah, no.
You ask me how old am I? I go left, right, and then.
You keep quiet about it, doesn't change. It still remains the same. Your ID still says the same thing. So born in a little village called Wamondo in far north of Limpopo.
There is such a place.
Yeah, there is such a place. Beautiful. It's like almost the location of Eden. If you were to put it bluntly. But anyway, so grew up there, did my primary schooling there, went to secondary school or high school in a technical high school, in a local technical high school. Ran away from it because I hate drawing, and they had technical drawing there. So many years of running away from my destiny and my purpose, which is to pastor.
Right.
So I did so much running away from that when I was growing up.
Why will anyone do that?
Because you have seen what everybody else has been through before you, and you just
Okay.
like, that's not my life.
Right.
So I had decided a long time ago that I can't find myself in that space.
Okay.
But look at me now.
Yeah.
I'm totally in that space. I'm content.
And you also saw it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally,
so
I'm a
same
second generation pastor
Okay.
in my home. My dad was, well, still is a first generation pastor.
Yeah.
So I saw so many things that don't actually look glamorous, don't look good, they don't look great. And I said, that's not the portion I want.
Yeah.
Fell in love with aviation at a very young age.
Okay.
Was very interested in that.
Yeah.
Around grade 11, got introduced to flying. Did a bit of flying there through a scholarship from the SA Motorsport.
Sure.
Did that a bit. Then somewhere in the line between 11 and grade 12, I stumbled upon air traffic control, fell in love.
Sure.
And then I did that. I still do that to this day.
Okay.
Passions are just really transforming people's lives.
Sure.
And I think it's because you can't put a price to it. You can't put
Okay.
a price to transformation. You can't put a price to how people are changed and impacted.
Yeah.
So anything that has people involved, I thrive in that space. I
Lovely.
enjoy that space.
Lovely.
Love interacting. One of the very interesting fun facts is I am extremely gifted, if I was to say it, in memorizing phone numbers. So I know
No way.
60 phone numbers off by
You know
heart.
what?
64 numbers.
64 cell phone numbers.
Yeah. And who they belong to. And my wife sits exactly the way you sit. And she's, but anyways, so it's a fun fact. Side note.
Okay. So I want to still slow down and go back to this thing. So you're growing up in, I mean, I joked to say is the Ramondo in the map, but you know, your father is a very well-known pastor in the country, even beyond. So you're growing up as a PK.
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
Look, to be quite honest, it's traumatic. It has
Traumatic?
It has its own traumas. It's not as glamorous as people look at it and think it is that glamorous or that good. You grow up and you see how leadership of such a space, if not well handled, can be very toxic to the people who you are supposed to lead first. Case in point, I'll put it strongly and say that one of the reasons why I never wanted to be in this space is I saw how much time my dad never had for the first, if I was to call it, for the first church that he's supposed to lead.
What's the first church?
The first church is his family.
Okay.
And all my life,
Yeah.
I talk about this even to this day. As good as I was at school and doing whatever I was doing at school, never had the time to come and attend and watch that happen, or even be in that room.
I see.
Because of this whole leadership space that was there. And being a PK was tough because you also had to live a life that meets the standard of somebody else's calling, not necessarily your own.
Your dad's calling.
Yeah. So you have to live. You have to live a life that supports his position.
Okay.
And you can lose yourself in that space because you probably can be very caught up in not having your own personal encounter with the faith.
Sure.
And latching or hitchhiking on somebody else's pedigree of their faith and their agenda. So that has been quite a very interesting space where now I had to grow up and actually literally make a decision myself.
Yeah.
Is this the path I want to follow? Is this the direction I want to take? Is this the space I want to find myself in? And today I joke, I say I never wanted to be, but it had to be a choice that I made, and I said, this is what I want to follow, and this is the person I want to become.
Excellent. So now, there's a part about your father was popular and he traveled a lot and he did a lot of church work. And he was not available perhaps for the activities you would have expected him to be part of.
Sure.
That is probably the same with other kids who had potentially parents that had to go work at the mines, or who ran businesses, etc. So the unavailability of your father was a big one.
Yes.
The expectation set on you was a big one.
Yeah.
And what else?
Look, additionally, I think you also found third level pressure that came from if I was to call it, you're a consequence of somebody's fame or somebody's noise.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What does that do?
So you enter a room and somebody hears who you're related to.
Yeah.
They're expecting the person you're related to come out of you, and you're not that person. And you, like, I remember this one time I went to do some TV work.
Yes.
It was radio work, not TV work. Radio work for one of the radio stations in the country. Entered the room and I introduced myself as TJ. So
yes.
Everybody thinks, okay, TJ, cool,
yes.
no problem. We had 3 other guys that were doing the same thing. We recorded what we recorded. We did what we were doing.
Yeah.
When we were done, he says, no man, I didn't quite get your surname. So
yes.
The whole room literally changed.
So you say,
I'm
Masakona
with you. Yeah, like, I'm not the guy. I'm not the guy. I'm just the offspring of the guy. So
wow.
You tend to find, and I personally,
yes.
I think that's the part that people also don't actually believe, is I actually don't thrive in places that are about me. I'm shy about myself. I see. I prefer obscurity. I prefer just an enclosed. Whether anybody knows me or not doesn't matter.
Sure.
As long as I'm functioning in what I need to function in.
Sure.
So yeah, you tend to find people know you and they expect you to know them.
Yes.
People tend to, but I know your dad. I was with your dad. Where? Okay, you were with my dad. I was not with you. Type of a thing. Last but not least, I think you also find yourself under the pressure of getting involved in the organizational element of the church.
Okay, say more.
Where you need to function in spaces.
Okay.
So I think I'm a default musician because there was no musician at the time. So I became a default musician. But along the way I did when I was growing up, I did some work in the local bookshop or bookstore in town. So I learned money quite early, counting money, working during holidays. In between, at some point I was almost like this go-to person when we needed to go banking. So I need to go banking. Back then when the cash thing was a thing, so you're told, okay, you are going to go banking. When you come back, you must come back with the receipt, give it to the person in the office. They must note down because we have no one else to go.
Wow.
So by default, you are expected to be an involved person in the organization.
Sure.
And not by choice.
Sure.
So it became a tricky thing. Like everybody expects you to be this person that's going to make it work.
Right. Beautiful. So I see these challenges. Yeah. I just wonder, what were some of the beautiful things and the unfair advantage that came with being a child of a very successful pastor?
No, great element. I think it's a great question. We often don't even talk about those parts. We shy away from those parts. Yeah. When I was younger, the greatest part is you actually don't have to stand in line when there's food. I'm somebody's kid and you're gone, so access was easy in that regard. But to be quite more frank and serious about this thing, I think more than anything you realize how there are spaces you would never be able to access.
Lovely.
Had it not been for the spade work that this man had done, the life that he has lived.
Sure.
I call it a seeded life.
Yes.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
And I always give an example with a tree that we grew up climbing, a mango tree that we grew up climbing just up the road from our house when we were growing up. And when I was driving back home, I showed my daughter the tree and I said, that tree I used to climb. It's like, what do you mean? I was like, I climbed it. My dad climbed it as well. And I realized we don't know who planted the tree.
Oh, wow.
But all of us are still enjoying the mangoes from that tree to this day.
Sure.
And it's so great to meet somebody who has planted something and made something work.
Sure.
And you benefit from it. So I found that to be one of the great perks that you can sit and say, man, somebody has paved the way. You don't have to struggle with it. Secondly, I think it's also a very deep-seated blessing to be able to sit in a place where you don't have to look for a different picture or an external picture for a pedigree of integrity and somebody who has walked a life. You live with it and you watch this guy. I keep on nagging him most of the times, and I sit with him and I say, look, I think you've done so well with so little resources. Back then, when there was nothing, you then went and you did all of these things. But you have to tell people how you did all of these things without nothing. And he talks principle quite a lot. So that was the second advantage. I think that the third advantage, which is quite honestly something that I speak to now, is you sit in a position where when you start to do church, or when I started to do church, I did not start from zero.
Sure. Oh, yes.
To be quite honest. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes.
It was not a zero start.
Yes.
You start at a better position. And it's not even a financial conversation at all.
Yes.
You are standing on a legacy that can speak in rooms that you can't enter because of your age, because of your lack of experience, because of this and that. But you find yourself being, in rooms that you shouldn't be in if you were to look at the logical pattern of growing up in age.
I see.
And that's been one of those perks. I think there are many, but yeah.
Beautiful. So, and I want to just take it slowly. So you finish matric, and then you go study traffic control.
Yes.
And then you relocate from now Venda towards Pretoria.
Yeah.
And just kind of paint a picture there. I think there was a branch of the church in Pretoria. So just kind of help me see what's happening here. There's a church back home, and the branches everywhere.
Yeah. So that thing almost dictated where you land. Like we're expecting you to land where there's a branch of a thing. Like you can't be on some way to Cape Town and there's no branch you can't. You are there to make this thing work. So.
All right, so if you wanted to go study in Bloom.
Dude, which Bloom? With who? How are you going to bloom there? You must not. You must never. So it was a thing. So I think it really highly influenced my decision to do Pretoria.
Yes.
By the time I was finishing my matric, it was already spoken that no, this one's coming to Pretoria is going to be the one that plays keys or plays keyboard for us at the church type of a thing. No, it was already fixed in that. But I didn't mind. I mean, the last 3 years of my high school was in boarding school, which is a good foundation.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was a great foundation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the discipline it instilled, the opportunities it gave to learn what not and what to do, and all of that stuff. So by the time I arrived in Pretoria, I sort of was already set in my ways. I already knew that there are spaces and places where I'm not interested in it.
Sure.
And it's fine, and it's okay not to find myself in that space. So we landed in Pretoria, did church, literally plugged into church immediately, there, man. Slap bang, no questions asked. Do you like it or not?
So you can't just say, hey, I saw another church down the road.
You saw what? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. No, it doesn't exist. You are rebellious of note. You are a rebel of note. You can't play those games.
But did you never wish you attended another church?
Man, I do. I did that for a good 7 months or so.
Okay.
Before we started we launched our own church. And I'll explain that shortly.
Yes.
But I wished to just be a guy. Just be a guy. And just enter a room and leave. No one expects you to do anything. No one expects you to testify. Nothing. I wished that was the case, but it was not,
Okay.
And I accepted it. And I was just like, okay, cool. Okay. This is the life I have to live. There's nothing I'm going to do about it. I did actually, funny enough, side note, study networking at Varsity College.
Networking, computer networking.
Computer networking.
Okay, good.
At Varsity College when it was a thing. Because I remember telling my dad, this is what I want to do. I want to become an air traffic controller. He says to me, what's that? So I had to explain. He says, there's no way you can do something and you don't go to university.
Sure.
So I've actually never been to university.
Sure.
Literally campus and whatever.
Yes.
So it was a fight. No, you can't. You are wasting your brains. You have to go to university. Traditional, schooling. I was like, okay, fine. You guys are going to pay for it. It's okay.
I'll do computer network.
But pay for it. I'm not going to be the one to deal with it when I leave.
Okay.
And 6 weeks later, I left. Well, legally. Not illegally, but legally.
Yeah.
So, here's my opportunity. Bye.
Sure.
No, but we paid. I said, well, you paid. I told you not to pay. Type of a thing.
Okay.
So that was a side experience. But yeah, air traffic control, it's been a passion. I love it. I love the unpredictability of it. I love solving complicated problems.
Sure.
So I enjoy sitting in a space and I'm just like, okay, well, how do we solve this? Let's see if we can solve this.
So what actually happens there?
So literally what actually happens there is communication between the ground control or the ground controllers, people on the ground that are controlling aircrafts in the air, and you basically issue instructions. That's basically what you do. So you issue instructions based on calculations, degrees, heights, wind, all of these things. Like you calculate all of those things and say, okay, you need to turn 3 degrees to your left, you need to turn this to that, climb this height, descend now to that, clear to land, cleared for takeoff, and all of that stuff.
Beautiful.
So,
beautiful.
Yeah, I think I enjoy the unpredictability of the space.
Yes.
And I love the complexity at times that it brings.
Lovely. So there's this path, and then you're enjoying this thing, and now you come here. You get involved with church already. So there was a branch here in Pretoria.
Sure.
I remember visiting many years ago, and I think that branch. What happened?
Oh man, that became a very interesting learning space. To be quite honest, it was not pleasant at all times.
Sure.
But it became quite a learning space. So basically, the branch decided to actually shift and move over to become a different church altogether.
Sure.
They move over from being under us and now launching a different church altogether.
So the branch stopped to exist
Basically.
in
Pretoria.
In Pretoria.
Basically. Yeah. So it's
So the church
Super Lead
split.
became Lead Super. So it didn't split, just I guess we can call it a split, because I mean ultimately they decided that look, we need to do our own thing. We no longer directly affiliated, if I was to put it like that, or under the leadership of this organization.
Okay.
We are a standalone organization, and that's literally what happened.
And then you needed to then do what?
So that was a very
Move with them, or
that was a very interesting space, because I did so much investment, so much discovery, so much as well. My own path was really shaped in that space as well. So it was quite a difficult conversation to have with oneself to say, what next?
Yes.
And to be quite honest, the next that I always had in life was just, let me go back and see how can I help my dad.
Okay.
In what he's doing. So I had an idea. I'm gonna move back home, and
to
Limpopo.
To Limpopo.
Yep. It was a grand idea sitting somewhere in my mind. That was my own physical idea. And taking some time to really reflect and ask God what's supposed to happen here. What am I supposed to do here? And listen. And and the listening brought us to Pretoria East, which is Calvary Christian Church Pretoria East today.
So you launch another branch, but in the east side of Pretoria.
And I tell you something very interesting. I don't think you might actually be the first podcast that we are talking about.
Good. You the first heard it here.
So one of the things that I was really so intentional about was not to do a work or to launch a church in response of what has happened.
Sure.
I refused to do that.
Sure.
I was like, that's not the reason, because I tell you what, the challenge would have been. The challenge would have been existing to solve a problem.
Yeah.
When the problem is solved, what's your reason for existence?
Sure.
So it was such a very intentional thing in my heart to say, I don't want what you call a church, or what you call a launch, or what you call a start to be a retaliation, or to be
yes.
Then your reason for existence doesn't make sense.
That's very good.
So I felt I need to be so sure of the reason of why we're doing this.
Sure.
We had quite a very frank conversation, even with my wife, even with my family, and I said, guys, I'm not going to do this just for the sake of doing it.
Sure.
If I am to do this, I need to know that I'm doing this and I'm in it for the right reasons.
Lovely, man.
For the right spaces. So I think it was quite a very molding experience. I think it forced me to grow up quite quickly.
Sure. And how old are you at this time?
At that time, I'm 28.
Sure.
To 29.
Sure.
So I am just like, okay, fine. I did not sign up for this.
Yes.
All these things is just a lot. And I think when we sat down literally on the so on the 4th of March 2018, I just said, well, look, we need to be sure of our reason of existence.
Sure.
Otherwise, we're not going to last.
Sure.
And I think it really speaks to life in essence, man.
Yeah.
There are things we start because we want to show the next person that we can, or there are things and by the wayside somewhere, this thing just disappears, and you wonder why.
Because even its origin wasn't right.
So
you start another branch at the east side of Pretoria, and that's growing. And then there's COVID and all the rest of it.
Oh, COVID was a jump, eh? Man, COVID was a jump.
Say more. Say more.
I think leading through something.
Okay. No, wait a second, and then we get to COVID now.
Yeah.
So many pastors I've spoken to.
Sure.
They started preaching way early.
Yeah.
Up until this point, were you had you been preaching from high school? Did you just start preaching now that you had to set up a new church?
The first sermon I actually remember when I was 10. I was literally 10, and it was a kids' church skit that we're doing, and I was preaching about make Jesus the main man.
Lovely.
I remember that, and I was in a suit and whatnot and all that stuff. But I was young, man. It was possibly not by choice. It was by design, and saying the perfect person to fit the role should be the pastor's kid. Let's make him to be the pastor. So, but by 22 is when I was officially ordained as an associate pastor in the church that I was in.
Okay.
And that's why I say it was quite a shaping.
And prior to that?
Prior to that, I was running away, bro.
You were not preaching in high school.
No.
You were not preaching in varsity college.
Me, I was not the guy.
Fascinating.
I was not interested in it at all. My whole primary goal was to become a pilot first.
Okay.
And fly away. Literally. No, I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. My whole idea was become a pilot, fly away.
Oh yeah, you will never have to be here around or every Sunday.
If I had it my
church.
way, I would be living outside of South Africa right now. Wow. If I had it my way, I would be living outside of South Africa. Yeah. I would actually be traveling the world, doing so many other things.
Sure.
I would probably be married to somebody who's not my ethnicity. If it was my life back then as planned.
So this experience you needed to completely get away from.
Look, I tell you right now, I wanted to completely get away from it, but I don't think it was going to be wise. I don't think it was going to be well. I don't think it was going to be right.
Okay.
I think it would have made me a totally different person.
So now, what finally happened to you? What was the thing that says, I want to run this way? And then were you hit by lightning? Did you come to a near-death experience? Did you hear the voice of the Lord? What?
It wasn't that dramatic at all, eh? It was just a very, very self-conversation. Okay. What do you want to do with your life, and where do you want to go with your life? Yeah. Clearly, you can see that there are telltales and signs that are telling you that this is what you are called to do. This is what you are. This is the place where you're supposed to function.
Sure.
And I think I didn't want to function in this space as well because I also felt it was very monopoly in its. Okay. It was like a box that boxes you to never become anything else.
Sure.
You're just stuck in that space.
Sure.
So I tell you, about 21 is when I was just like, you know what? You are growing, you're becoming of age, but you really need to make a very firm decision.
Yes.
And make a call and say, this is intentionally what I want to become. And the reason why I talk about that is because had I not made the call, I would probably not put the effort.
Yes.
To really,
yes.
So I felt it needed, and I wanted to really zone it away from who my dad was.
Sure.
Zone it away from where I grew up and all of that stuff. Just literally make a decision.
Sure.
That is almost independent.
Sure.
According to my view.
Yes.
Independent from any influence of anybody.
Sure.
And just me that's deciding.
Sure.
And predominantly, I also didn't want to become. And I say this with some level of grace.
Yeah.
I don't want to become a pastor and not be a Christian.
Say that some more.
I literally did not want to become a pastor and not be a Christian. I said, look, if I want to become a pastor, I have to make sure I'm a Christian.
Okay.
More than anything.
Okay.
I have to be, before God, I have to be a child.
Sure.
I have to make sure my relationship is solid and not find myself being caught in the whirlwind of the work.
Sure.
And find myself not being worked.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So
that's profound.
Yeah, so I didn't want, I was so intentional about, I don't want to say yes to this because of the 20 perks or the 30 perks that it comes with. I don't want to say yes to this because it's influenced by how I feel I'm going to be this person that everybody knows, whatever.
Yes. Can
I say yes to this because I really just want to be a good Christian man?
Wow.
That displays who God is and who Christ is.
Stunning. So then you start, and then there was COVID.
COVID is interesting. COVID came. COVID happened. So here's a quick story behind COVID. So COVID happens. We just launched a building project. We want to start building. We've got a budget of about 20 to 30 million rand that we want to raise. So we're geared up for this thing. And then COVID says, hello, I'm here, type of a thing. And it's like, what is going on here? So we woke up the next morning to realize that the country is shutting down in like a couple of weeks, or a couple of days rather. What are we going to do? So we went into church. We literally put cameras up. I think we used a cell phone, an iPhone 7 at the time. I think we didn't have cameras, so we put an iPhone 7. We recorded like 5 sermons that day from like 8 a.m., so 8 p.m. to like 3 a.m. in the morning. So the guys sang, then I had to come in and do because we didn't know any other way. So we pre-recorded these things. I learned, funny enough, because I mean, it's almost like you realize when crisis happens, leadership rises. Leadership comes into the center.
Excellent.
And that happened. So I learned how to edit. I learned how to put cameras together. I learned how to software. All of these things. I learned how to stream. I learned how to. So all of these things I start learning. And I'm like, okay, let's watch a couple of YouTube videos. Let's see how to do this thing. And by the time COVID ended, I was heading our media team. Literally, I was like, "Come, let's train you. Let's show you how to do this thing," type of a thing. But I think it really tested the core of the rootedness of what we believe in and where we're at, and asked questions of us. Like totally, really, honestly, asked questions of us. Like, are you rooted in this thing because it's a daily activity of functionality that you give? Or are you rooted to this thing because you're committed and devoted as a believer? And COVID was interesting because how do you pastor remotely? How do you lead an organization or people from detached from them? Oh my word, like so many learnings, but also you realized that it also reminded us of basic importance of really small things that we undermined, just like connectivity with people. And just not expecting what people will give you or the talent they're going to bring on board.
Just who they are.
Just checking how are you doing. How are you doing? What's going on? What's cooking in your space? And it also forced us to really reflect, I would say. And let me say this, I think any crisis that does not redirect you to look in, to introspect and to align and to change certain things is a wasted opportunity. I tend to be, I really strongly believe that you waste an opportunity to really, review and see yourself. So I remember when we came back from just meeting physically, I would meet with our board and I'd just ask, so how was my leadership in crisis? What was going on? Like what can I do better? And the guys would sit literally grill and and I said, no, but the space cannot be created by you if it's not created by me. I have the responsibility to allow you to test whether this pudding is good enough. So I learned quite a lot in that space. But ultimately, I think the biggest thing is just to realize how community is so important. Right.
And I think in church world, you can get caught up in the production and the show on Sunday.
Literally, like I think you can really get caught up on is the set. Okay, 3, 2, 1,
go.
Let's go.
Type
of a thing. But a reset was needed just to see how do we take care of community. And also as a leader, I felt at that time I had to make critical decisions. Do we renew a lease? Do we do all of those things? You're sitting in that space and you realized I also don't have a community. Like, where is my community? Where is the people that I can
engage these
conversations
with
what do you think about this?
Yes, yes.
So I had to intentionally now, I think it grew me up personally to come to a place of realizing that I've grown to a moment and a time where I need to decide and make conscious decisions of relationships I pursue, of relationships I invest in, you know, and value-driven relationships, not just... We're not going to sit here and talk about Sundowns and Chiefs. We are talking about other people working.
We can talk about Sundowns, less about Chiefs, but
it's okay. So I felt like I need to be really intentional about pursuing relationships.
Excellent, man.
And coming out of that, I was more direct. I think in my personal space, I was very more direct. Look, man, I want to pursue this relationship, and I want this relationship because I need to learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from you.
Excellent.
And that's it. Are you interested?
Sure.
If you're not interested, it's fine. No worries. Let's move on.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay, beautiful. So you build, and then there's COVID, and now just kind of paint a picture of where the organization is at.
Look, where we're sitting right now, we are mid-size, about 300 odd membership.
Beautiful.
That we lead. We've got a leadership structure of first tier leadership structure of about 9 people that
Excellent.
are the board of the church.
Lovely.
We engage monthly and we do all of those things.
Fantastic.
Then below that we've got a team of about 45, so 25 before 45. 25 people that lead and run different departments.
Yeah.
Below that we've got a team of about 65 other people.
Oh wow,
that
man.
serve in different departments.
Lovely.
So the organization, I think one thing I can tell you right now is we came out of that space appreciating stability.
Say more.
Just appreciating stability. I think we undermine the importance of stability.
Okay.
And I'll say it in a very churchy way as well. Yeah, let me say it in a churchy way. We pursue growth, forgetting that the foundation where the growth must stand is more important than the growth itself.
Excellent.
And you can talk numerical, you can talk financial, you can talk whatever.
Yeah.
As long as it's growth, we want to pursue it. And we want to run away from it. So we want to run towards it, not run away from it. While we run towards it, we're running away. What's the base? What's the lead culture in this space? What is we ran a survey at some point, and we do that, I think, about every 2 years within the organization, just to find out what's our niche. What is the thing that makes you calm? That makes you drawn into the space. And we found key interesting things, and we realized we could be trying to build the lights, and the lights are not the thing.
Yeah, it's the coffee that we serve every Sunday.
Yeah, and we're like, no, man, we need to really come to that space of embracing stability.
Good.
Loving and embracing stability.
Good.
And I felt like we came out of that space and into a space where now we are solidifying bases that we feel are very critical and important, so that by the time this thing grows,
yes, it's on solid foundation.
The challenge would be that I would raise. One challenge has always been moving away from a mindset of the church I grew up in, to the mindset of the church I need to build.
Oh wow! Okay, say some more.
So the church I grew up in, everybody would just come to church. And they are happy. They are 5 hours, 6 hours of church, and they are yippee.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. And to be quite honest, I growing up now, I realized that it was a great foundation and it made so much sense to them. But where I'm at right now is not where I come from.
Wow,
and
good.
I've got a responsibility to not feel guilty of contextualization.
I see. Very good.
To not feel like I am cutting away from principles. Just because I am changing the display medium from a paper to a projector, as an example.
Yes.
So
you're changing the start time at church.
Yeah. Like you feel like. No, it must be 5 hours. No, it shouldn't be. Shouldn't be 5 hours. Yeah. So I felt very intentional about surrounding myself with people that are exposed to what I want to become.
Okay, good.
So I did that. I put certain people in my circle, and I was honest about it. I said, "Look, I want you because you've been exposed to something that I've never been exposed to.
Stunning.
And I need you to expose me to that.
Yeah.
And if you do that, then I know that's where we are. So." it brought us to a place, and I remember talking to our CFO, and I said to them that we need to learn to differentiate between expenditure and investment.
Okay, good.
And she says to me, what do you mean? I said, you're looking at expenditure being the amount of money we spend.
Yes, yeah.
I am looking at investment being what it's going to do
Sure.
to the mindset of the people.
Sure, stunning.
So we decided in our little 300-room people that we are going to do certain things that speak to the church we want to build, or to the place we want to go.
Lovely.
So that by the time we get there, the 300, but we've always been these people.
Sure.
We are just upscaling it on a different level.
Sure.
So I really I learned the power of exposure.
Okay.
You know, a friend of mine said you can't shrink a mind that's been exposed.
Oh, stunning.
So I was just like, okay, let's expose.
Was the mind some more?
Let's build it.
Lovely.
Yeah,
so
that's where we are.
Succession is top of mind for you. Your old man. So I want to hear everything.
Sure. Are you ready for everything? So it's been a thing that I've just been really mulling and sitting over, because I felt it's something that cuts across the board.
It does.
Organizationally, any organization. Doesn't matter whether it's church, doesn't matter whether it's anything. It's a thing that is seemingly a struggle.
Yes.
When it comes to this, and when it comes to the matter of succession. And one of the things I want to expose in this conversation, that has really been something I've been sitting on and watching over time, is I watched this guy do so much.
Yeah. This is your father.
Yeah. So watch him do so much. Yeah. Sacrifice so much. Yeah. Work so hard to do what he has done to this point.
Yes.
With whatever little resources he's had, and he has made it work.
Incredibly successful.
You know, you look at it and you're just like, okay, 25 books later, all of these things. And
Yes. He's been on this podcast 2 or 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
In the early days of it.
Yeah, and you're sitting there and just like, okay, cool, man. This is interesting. And then if he watches this, he'll be fine. He'll be okay. He'll be chilled. So I look at this thing and I see how we often do not see the struggle of founding visionary leaders when it comes to the struggle of succession.
Yes. Yes.
People that are founding things.
Yes.
And I tend to think, and I play around their minds, just in my view. And I say, let me get into the mind and into the heart and see. And I hear conversations of, and this is, they never told me this. It's just me, putting myself and picturing myself in that space. I hear conversations of, I put blood, sweat, and
tears,
everything into this thing.
Yes.
And now I need to.
Yes.
How is it going to feel for me when this thing has moved and I have got no meaning in life?
Yes.
What does meaning mean?
Yes. Outside of this.
Post all of this. Yeah. Who am I? After all of this,
yes.
And I found that we've got such a very easy, and I don't know if I have a better word for it. We've got such a very easy identity crisis that we fall into,
yes,
because of the organizations we build and the organizations we work.
Yes.
To the point where I feel identity will be stripped off,
yes,
without the organization.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Yes.
So I look at it and I say, okay, fine. Could we then realize that the successor and the founder need to meet each other at a point of grace?
Beautiful.
Because what he needs to let go of is so much than just the organization. It is life.
Yes.
It is sacrifice. Yeah. There's so much written in that thing that you are expecting him to let go of. Yeah. And what you think you are receiving might not be defined in what he is giving.
Yes.
And he said, but this person just thinks they're receiving a podium. They
can preach now. They're receiving a church membership.
Yeah.
And is that the conversations now?
Look, I don't think those conversations have really gone to that space.
Okay.
This is conversations with me.
All right.
To be quite honest. I think it's difficult conversations for founders to have.
Yeah.
I don't know what makes it difficult. I'm still really honestly very interested in what makes it difficult, but I think it's difficult conversations for founders to have. Say, you want to do what?
Yes.
You want to take over what?
Yes.
You want to be...
Yes.
And historically, I think we've got enough data in leadership to show that succession is not easy.
No, it's not. So, but with maturing, with your dad maturing,
Sure.
and I imagine the energy levels are not at the same levels, shouldn't there be conversations of that sort?
They should. They honestly should. But I tend to really sit in a space of, there are conversations that you're going to have because you must have them.
Yeah.
Circumstances force you to have them.
Yeah.
And my ideal when it comes to succession and succession conversations is that you want to have them when you can control them.
Yes.
Not because the situations
As now, yes.
now forced you
And I imagine you're probably in the succession line.
I would tend to think so, maybe. I don't know. I would tend to really honestly think so. And I mean, if you were to look at logically, that probably is the case, or that probably is the ideology around it. But I've sat with my dad once, and I said to him, and it was like a while ago, and I said to him, what do you see this thing becoming?
Yes.
Tell me what you see this thing becoming.
Yeah.
It was a very difficult conversation.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the conversation. He didn't have the conversation. Like, he did not have the conversation, Maanda. Like, he did not have the conversation. And I was like, why? And then I realized he didn't have the conversation because I'm asking him to see this without him. I'm asking him to tell me, what does the organization look like without you?
Sure.
Maybe at the time I didn't think of it that way. Yeah. When I grew up or when I matured a bit, I realized, no, man.
That was
I'm not asking about the organization.
Yeah, you're asking about him stepping aside. So how do you prepare to, if it were, and if, that's God's idea.
Sure.
How does one in your kind of position prepare to be a successful successor?
I've learned one or two things, and
okay, good.
Let me talk about three things. One being, it's very important for you to understand what holds this thing together.
Okay, good.
What keeps this thing together? Okay. And if I was to put it down to just my own perspective and the conversation we're having concerning my dad and myself and all of that stuff, I realized loving people is a key thing.
Sure.
Like, it's one of those things that this guy does very well.
Sure.
He might not have everything.
Yeah.
But this thing here, he does very well. And I realized that as a possible successor of something, you have to realize that what is coming is not this.
Right. It's not the buildings and the choirs and all of that. At its core is the heart of loving the people.
At its core, there's something that is a core that just glues this thing together.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you study succession, when you study leadership succession, you realize, and I always give this example with just the small little convenient tuck shop that we had of Bomudzunga. By the corner.
Yes.
Bomudzunga starts this thing, you go and buy bread there, you go and buy...
And you open a book there as well.
Yeah, open a book. There you go. You know it. You open a book, you do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You growing up, you buy everything. Go buy, there are visitors coming, go buy drink of pop or what was that?
Yes.
Sigzo.
Yeah.
Go buy Sigzo or 7-Up or something like that. We expose the age, but yeah. So you're there and you see this thing happen. Then Bomudzunga is old.
Yes.
The store is now, the tuck shop is now become a mini supermarket.
I see. Yeah.
And then he feels, oh my God, let me change to Mudzunga and Sons.
Yes.
So changes to Mudzunga and Sons. Bomudzunga is, frail. He passes on the whole community as Bomudzunga passed on.
Sure.
Sons come over.
Yeah.
What was there for 20 years disappears in 2 years.
Because the Sons will not have taken over the core.
Yeah.
They took over the buildings and things.
100%.
So that's one. So you must know what this thing is about. Beautiful. You said there was a second one. Yeah.
You must know that attraction without retention can lead you to the pits.
Okay. So unpack for me.
You can attract new things.
Okay.
But if you don't retain principled things,
Right.
you're finished. There are people in the room that might not actually be the status or the age you want to attract.
Wow.
But they are principled because they have walked the journey of this organization for years.
Sure.
They might not be the people you want to put ideally as the forefront leaders, if I was to put it like that. That this is the COO, that this is the CFO, that this is whatever. You might not have them sitting with titles.
Sure.
But that does not replace the principled knowledge that they carry around this particular space.
Sure.
So I felt when you succeed someone, you might be very drawn to attract.
I see.
And you forget to retain.
Wow.
Because retention, you are retaining not just a person.
Okay.
You're retaining a legacy. You're retaining a journey. You're retaining knowledge. You're retaining so many things because the cycle of the organization might be in different times.
Sure.
But it might actually be exactly the same.
Sure. All right. Stunning. Love those two principles. Should a successor of a successful senior pastor be their offspring?
It's a very hard question.
Yeah, and we can leave this in and out.
But
there is a conversation in the charismatic
100%.
circles around.
100%.
Is this the default? Is this gonna stay in the bloodline?
It
And
shouldn't be the default.
okay,
And it's not the default. And there's biblical references that we can prove to.
Okay.
Joshua was not related to Moses.
yes,
But
yes,
he succeeded to lead the people of God to where he has called them to. But when God wanted to save the world, he brought his own begotten son. Okay, what's going on down here, type of it.
good.
So we should be careful not to take expectations and make them doctrine.
Okay, good.
Number two, we should be careful not to take norms and make them doctrines.
Good.
I think most importantly, whether you are an offspring or not, are you really called for this thing?
Okay, good.
Are you really called into this space? Are you really called to the space where you have to do this? Second example or third example that I want to give biblically again, Saul messes up as king.
Yes.
God does not make Jonathan king. He makes David king.
Sure.
So God is at will to choose whomever,
I see.
wherever, whenever, however.
I see.
Whether it's to your taste or not, well, you can deal with it on your own.
Yeah.
But it's God's choice.
Okay.
It shouldn't be. However, you do stand a place where people feel that that's the norm and should be the norm because this person has seen the lifespan of the organization, has seen things, has experienced things. There is some retentional knowledge that would really, really help the organization if it is somebody who's not meeting this thing for the first time or not encountering this thing for the first time.
Sure.
But to blatantly answer your question, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't always be. Doesn't have to always be.
Okay. Because some of them might run away from it, etc.
Some of them might actually be great
Administrators. Or
very
musicians.
bad pastors. Like, honestly, they could be great CFOs, but very bad pastors.
Sure.
And you can find people that are good preachers, but very bad pastors.
Sure.
They know how to talk.
Sure. But they cannot.
They can't lead an organization of that nature.
Sure. Now you have parallel streams. So you have a career.
Yes.
And you're also a pastor.
Yeah.
And the senior pastor did this just this one thing, pastoring. So could we expect you to go full time?
Look, I think no, it's not a foreign conversation at all. But I think it's a conversation I like to have with God.
Okay.
There are things that I'm missing from the pastoring perspective because my time is not fully devoted in that space. It's divided. One time I'm thinking flight levels, and the next thing I'm thinking the Bible. So it's there. There are spaces like that, and we honestly do have conversations around with leaders saying, look, there's a certain pedigree the organization will not reach unless it has your time.
Sure.
And it has your commitment. Yeah. So definitely that's a conversation that's not here.
Yeah.
It's here. It's sitting right here.
Stunning. And I remember we had a conversation once that you, at this point, sometimes you forego potential opportunities to lead and take promotions, etc. For the benefit of this, just walk me through this, because one of the, and it's probably not in all the churches, but one of the signs that you are blessed sometimes is seen by the promotions you accrue.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Sure.
And now, if you're not accruing promotions, are you what?
I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation. I'm going to be very, very subtle about this one, and I'll talk about why shortly. So, I think it's important to define core fulfillment spectrums. That's big.
Core fulfillment spectrum.
What fulfills you?
Okay, good.
Not what makes you happy, not what makes you appealing, or
right,
that, but what fulfills you.
Good.
And having this conversation with a couple of people in a corporate space, my answer has always been, I'm content.
Right.
I think contentment kills desperation.
Good.
And I found myself in a space where I am extremely content with who I am.
Yeah.
I'm extremely content with the time that is afforded to me and that is given to me. I'm extremely content with the monetary rewards that I get from any other space. I'm content with that.
Yeah.
So that has allowed me to really make decisions not based on what I want to get,
sure,
but who I want to become.
Right. Okay.
And in that space, it has brought me to the place of realizing some of the leadership cost is refusing certain opportunities.
Okay.
Literally, like there are certain opportunities you must say, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
But
you could make additional 20%.
Life changing.
Yeah.
Not even 20%. 200%.
Okay.
Like,
you can increase your earning. You can double your earning.
Double is small. I promise you right now. But
and then someone will offer you that opportunity, and you will say no. For the purposes of doing fulfilling work, which is pastoral work.
100%. 120%. I am fulfilled there. I'm not paid there, if I was to put it bluntly, in the sense of monetary value, but I'm fulfilled in the sense that the work that I do is not paid. It's not something you buy. You don't buy transformation. You don't buy. You can't put a fiber of a price.
Okay.
I'll give an example of a sharing. One gent recently joined us, or had joined us recently, and comes through to our small group meeting for men, and he's in that space, and he says, ever since I've joined the small group meeting for men, I was an alcoholic of note.
Sure.
And I'm so glad that I have a support system that just keeps me sober for the last 6 months.
Oh, lovely, man.
I don't know if you want to put a price to that.
Sure.
I don't know if you can find a monetary price.
Sure.
I can't find it.
Sure.
And I've found contentment in knowing that there is purpose and there's pursuit.
Okay, purpose and there's pursuit.
Yeah. So you want to pursue something, but you want to be purposed.
Sure.
What you want to be purposed in is what you want is to be more purposed than in pursuit, because we will chase, man.
Sure. There will always be another thing to chase.
There will always be the next target.
Once you get that double the salary, then you want to double it again.
You want to double the double,
okay.
type of a thing.
Yeah.
And I found that has helped me to be very principled.
Okay.
And my wife was telling me the other day, she says to me, like, one of the things that's so difficult about you is that you know what you want. So you're not like. So I found myself being very principled in a space where wherever I find myself in, and I'm just like, okay, fine, this is what I want. And I say it again, the cost of what we are building will also cost you personal upgrade and personal, jumps and whatever, and just like, okay, if I go there. There is nothing that's going to happen. Right now, we sit in a place where, in my corporate space, there's a lot of shortage worldwide for that skill.
Yes.
We hold quite a very strong command of the English language, so we are sellable. You can sell a South African air traffic controller to any country, and they're more than happy to receive them.
So you could
literally
leave.
I am not even joking.
Tomorrow.
Literally.
Right.
The opportunities there. But the one thing that keeps me anchored is what's fulfilling.
Okay, so now as we move towards the conclusion, I want to kind of do a bit of full cycle. So you grew up in a successful family from a pastoral perspective, and there was time being scarce.
Sure.
You are now a pastor. you also have a career.
Yeah.
So I just wonder how you are thinking or doing things differently for that presence as a parent and as a family member.
So recently meaning about when my first daughter started primary school.
Yeah.
So she decides she wants to be a netball player.
Yes.
So like, let's go. And excuse me. So I'm sitting in a space where I've got a meeting to attend to within the church space. I'm done with the corporate space. I've just knocked off, done, cool. I've got that meeting. She is playing netball. And I literally decided to put that netball in my diary.
Sure.
And I blocked that diary. I said, I've got a meeting. Let's cancel this, or let's postpone this meeting. No, where are you? No, I've got another meeting. The other meeting is watching my daughter play. I went there, and she was running the opposite direction, by the way, half the time. We can talk about that another day, but she was just holding the ball, running the opposite. And I said, no, you're supposed to. You know. But I tell you one picture that I never forget, that has really talked to why I want or how I want to do things differently.
Yeah.
Is when I walked onto the pitch or into the playing area just outside the pitch, the smile,
sure,
the pride.
Sure.
It's almost like she got wings. Like she just, it's not advertising, but she probably drank a Red Bull. She got wings. The colorfulness of her face.
Sure.
She was running opposite but smiling. It's like, my dad is watching me. My dad is here and he's watching me. And that has really informed my decision making.
Okay.
And I realized that if there's a way to do this is to really honestly get my priorities right.
Right.
In certain seasons and in certain spaces.
Yeah.
So, I can't see you at this time.
Yeah.
Because I have got this engagement. I don't even need to explain to you.
Sure.
And sometimes I think we feel we owe people an
Yes,
explanation.
because that's not like the most productive of meetings.
I'm in a meeting. That's all you need to know. That's where you need to stop.
Sure.
And it has been an intentional thing from the onset to say that, and this is, let me say this in a graceful tone, but hopefully everybody will get what I'm talking about. At times you'd actually miss who you want to become because you thought all you needed to become was the opposite of what you saw.
Sure.
I could fall into the trap of thinking I've achieved what I want to become as a father.
Sure.
Because I've become the opposite of my father.
Sure.
But I have not been intentional about becoming the person I want to become.
Wow.
So you run so much to
the extreme end.
As long as I become the opposite.
Sure.
I think I've achieved.
Sure.
But I literally had to slow down and say, no.
Say that's not the solution here. This is your path, and it doesn't have to be okay. Wow, that's good.
No, and it applies across life in general. I mean, you sit with people that have a failed marriage before, and they jump into the next marriage. They think, for this marriage to work, I should just be totally opposite to what I was there. And that's not intentional learning. That's not intentional growth. That's not maturity. And it's at the core, you need to decide, this is the person I want to become.
Stunning.
And this is going to benefit my season and my period where I'm at.
Stunning. That's beautiful. And I'm curious about, in this whole process, some of the rhythms of rest.
I struggle there.
Okay.
To be quite honest.
Say more.
I struggle because my whole life growing up, work was a definition of note. Work was a thing. Work was as long as you're working, you are valuable. As long as you're working, you are deemed important. All of those things. So my wife did quite a lot of work, to be quite honest, to bring me back to a place of learning that rest is not sinful.
So it was at that level where to just rest It's equivalent to sin.
Yeah, like you're sitting there just like, I need to be productive. I need to be doing something. I mean, off air earlier, we're just having a quick conversation of how we use work. We would use work just to really build up value. And that was wrong. Like, I realized the rhythms of rest were disturbed because I always felt that my value of life comes from my work.
Attached to the work.
And I'm still learning even today. I've now started small little things that I do, which is really enjoying just to sit at home and do absolutely nothing. What's the point of having or building a home with all of these things that you have invested, so you can't even enjoy them?
Yes.
So I've started that, and that really works for me. So there are days where I'm just like, I switch off. I don't switch off my phone or whatever, but I'm just like, I literally intentionally choose. Maanda is calling me, I'll call him back.
Wow.
Okay. Smiso is calling me, he'll drop me a text. It's fine. I literally, and I did that intentionally because switching off the phone might seem like a sign of discipline.
Okay.
But I think discipline is when the opportunity is
Oh, wow, that's good, man. That's very good.
And that's very good. The choice.
That's very good.
Second thing, I take solo locations.
You take solo locations.
My wife doesn't like that, but she knows.
Let's hear
so
this.
Literally a week, and I'm just like, I'm going away.
The whole week?
Yeah.
Can you speak directly to the camera, and then can the team cut this portion and send
and just make it
and send directly?
I feel like I'm going to be invited to the next men's conference. But yeah, and when it happened by chance. She had just started a new job. We had planned to go on holiday. She said to me, look, I just started a new job. I probably won't have the days and the time, so you can go on your own.
Okay.
Like, are you sure?
Yes.
She's like, yeah, you can go on your own. I left on my own.
Yeah.
And I tell you, it was the most refreshing experience I've ever had.
No way.
No, honestly. And I realized I slept for 3 days.
Sure.
And I read for like a day or two.
Yeah.
And then I only went out on the last day because I needed to get gifts to make sure that people don't feel like I forgot about them. And it was not far. It was just local. And I enjoyed how much I came to myself.
Lovely.
How much I realized how I did not give TJ so much of TJ.
Sure.
I gave TJ out, but I never gave him.
Right.
And just sit there and say, man, do you actually enjoy this? Do you actually like 1, 2, 3? Do you actually? And it was so important for me to come back home and say to her, look, I felt I can be of benefit to you.
Yes.
When I'm filled in so many
Yes.
than for me to be pouring out all the time. And sometimes we do that to ourselves.
And big part of that is going away.
It's a big part. I tell you.
Okay.
I think we tend to build. We love being heroes.
Sure.
So we love being the go-to person for everything, and we build a culture around everybody that, man, if I have a problem, I'm gonna call TJ. He's gonna sort it out.
Sure.
I'm gonna say, no, you can't just call and I'm gonna sort it out. Sometimes I'm not available.
Yes, you're gone away for you said a week.
Yeah, a week. Literally.
Right. And are you recommending that directly? Or?
I tell you right now, if you're listening to me very well, you're gonna benefit from the person who comes back. It does take a lot because you are leaving an environment that you have made dependent on your presence.
Sure.
So it takes a strain initially. So people at that time, I'll share a sad story, but at that time, one of the things that happened in my first solo location, my wife got car jammed. And her laptop was stolen, her phone was stolen, So she calls me and she says to me, babe, I think it was Wednesday, so I'm supposed to come back on Friday. She says, babe, this is what happened, So I literally asked her, do you need anything from me? I'm dead serious. And I'm dead serious. I'm not even joking. She can attest to that.
Yes.
And she says to me, no, I'm good. I've gone to the police station. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I said, okay, cool, no worries. Let's chat when you're done with that. We chatted. So is everything okay? Do you need me to come back? I asked that question.
Okay, good.
She says no.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you're thinking is fine. And I know when that says you must come back. So I decided not to come back.
So wait, let's go. So when you're told, okay, whatever you think, but you know that
I thought that's probably what I'm being told.
Yeah, that's come back, but you must kind of like make the decision.
I did not.
You're like, no,
I did not.
I'm enjoying this.
I stayed and came back on Friday morning. So Friday afternoon, she was not very happy about that.
Sure.
And I said to her, one of the things I realized is I might be disintegrating what I'm trying to build.
Right.
Which is that life can actually continue to happen without a hero that decided to be a hero. So my coming back was going to be comforting to you, but it was going to be strenuous on me. How do I fix the issue now? How do I fix 1, 2, 3 now? How do I do all of these things now? I'm back now. What do we need to do? We need to get a new cell phone. Okay, cool. We can do that now on the weekend that I'm back. And we did it.
And you were refreshed.
I was a benefit to everything that needs me, to be quite honest.
Wow.
And I was there, but it was a hard decision. It was a hard thing because it shakes certain spaces. It makes certain spaces feel like, and the people that depend on you feel like the world is coming to an end. They feel, and this is it. One of my greatest fears, and I don't think I spoke about that shortly, but one of my greatest fears has always been, I've lived a life where so much of my life has been very predictable. So much of my life has been, you can draw a line. So this is the journey that this person is going to live. Very little, what do you call this thing? Very little open issues or whatever, or scandals or whatever, or difficulties or mistakes or something like that. So I always am so scared that the day I drop a teaspoon, the world is going to stop. While there are people dropping plates every single day. And
so because you grew up in this protected pastor's home, and then it's like your church, and then this and that, and then conference after conference, and
somebody said to me, and I say this with all humility. I hope people will get my heart. And somebody said to me, in all the people that I know, I've never met somebody who's as a Christian as you are. And I'm like, what kind of a statement is that? Like, how do you say something about that about someone? And the expectation that people have is that you are not flawed. You can't make a mistake. So I fear that if I don't actually expose within my close circle some of the flaws that might exist.
I see.
I'm setting a bar that I can't reach.
That you are this perfect person, perfect husband.
You can't sustain it. It's gonna kill you before you even get to a place where you can do it. So I think it's one of those things where you are intentional about it. It's painful. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. It's not something that anybody can sign up for. But it's necessary. To a certain extent, it's necessary for your preservation. It's necessary for their preservation as well, so that they realize, man, I can actually handle 1, 2, 3 things. Without having to worry about, the presence of someone, coming in and handling those things. When I came back, of course, we had quite a robust conversation around it and all of that stuff. And I said, no, these are conversations that should happen. But it brings understanding. It brings, a knowledge of this is where you stand, this is where I stand, and I know this is beneficial for you. Today, when I talk solocation, it's not a fight. It's okay, cool.
Because you need to go and refill the cup. You need to take care of yourself.
Enjoy it. I'll see you on the flip side.
The other week.
The other week.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But I think, let me say this, Maanda, and I know this is a leadership podcast. It's not a marriage podcast. I always find that where trust is solid,
I see.
freedom is almost guaranteed. Because it's not a thing.
So the trust piece is solved. What you were solving for is the dependency. The dependency. Then when that's solved, then it allows you to go alone and recover.
And I also had to think of life without me.
Say more.
Literally, I also had to think of life without me. Like,
are you thinking be here forever. Succession?
I'm not gonna be here forever, and that's the truth. Whether I want to accept it or not, I'm not gonna be here forever. So if I am to actually make sure that there is sustainability in what I've built, and now in the form of family, why would I want to be Clark Kent all the time with my suit out and glasses down all the time? Sometimes let me keep my suit on and not show Superman. And see how this plays out. And then we actually learn, okay, cool, this is what we could have done better. This is how best we could have done. And that's me leaving principles behind. To say, I want you to take the principles of how to sustain 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I imagine you, as we conclude, you're doing the same for the church. that you're building succession weaves already.
There are meetings or services that I'm not in.
Okay.
And I think the greatest definition of a well-oiled organization is how well it runs in the absence of the leader.
Sure.
And I like that. I'm just like, okay, let's see how well it's going to run. And that's when you begin to see what's culture and what's not.
Sure.
You begin to see how well you've done in building culture or how bad you've done in not building culture. And those things get exposed.
When you're upset. So you're better off doing this test as you go.
When you're still here.
When you're still here, and then you can augment.
100%.
And then you can empower people. You can do all of these things.
I'm a lover of feedback as well. So
wow. Okay, say more.
No, anything that happens within the confines of my space, we will have a review meeting. Everything. Like we had simple conversation. We had the kids take over on Sunday, this past Sunday in the church. The kids were literally running church, and we're having a review meeting later just to find out. So what went well? What could we have done better? This thing could have been better if you did what, or if you input this type of input. So, yeah.
So but someone in the kind of leadership space you're in,
sure,
it's easy to get the hero complex.
Very easy.
And one of the symptoms is to not welcome feedback. So if you speak directly to the camera and just kind of talk about why you're able to do this, doesn't it hurt your ego? You're a pastor, you hear from God, what you say and do is directed by God in scripture, and you're right.
Man, they don't call it feedback for nothing. And I want you to hear me well in this and get my heart in this. They don't call it feedback for nothing. In other words, you have just taken out something from you, and you need to be fed back. Wow. So there's a feeding that must happen to you. So when you refuse feedback, you are refusing food that's good enough for you. You are refusing somebody because you have let something out. It's a vision, it's an activity, it's an event, it's an execution. You've let it out. So what's the point of taking something out and not taking anything in?
Sure.
And this will help you to be able to realize that what you thought you were is actually what you're not. You can do better in certain spaces because those people are the ones that are experiencing who you are. Your service that you're giving, whatever you're doing, is being experienced by someone else. Who better to tell you the truth?
Sure, than the person
who's experiencing it.
And then when it hits you?
When it hits
when
you,
they're like, yes, that someone was so bad.
Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's not nice. But you build the attitude of realizing that it's me being fed.
You are being
fed. And when you are calm, when you are in a not so volatile emotional area, you reflect and like, okay, I think Maanda had a point here. Let me do better here. Let me do better there. Let me do better there. When you refuse feedback, you refuse growth.
Oh, okay, this is a great place to pack it. So a book recommendation. Or a podcast or a sermon or something that
Atomic Habits, ne?
Lovely.
Is a book.
Lovely.
Like
lovely.
I don't know, it just cuts across so many spaces. Yeah. I think I've reread and read and done so many things around that.
Excellent.
And yeah, I think podcast, I enjoy SuperLead a lot, to be quite honest.
Good answer.
I do. I want to come back, guys. So I enjoy SuperLead a lot.
Excellent.
Because one of the things that I've been very intentional about is not to monopolize my leadership.
Okay.
My leadership space should be highly influenced by so many things.
Excellent.
So I take in a lot of content from different places, sift it and realize, okay, this will work for us. Yeah. That will work for us.
Lovely. Yeah. Thanks a million. Thanks for the work you're doing, and thanks for coming here, and we'll see you again here super soon.
Man, thank you for having me. It's been such a great pleasure, and I really truly hope that we do more great work like this.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Pastor TJ Masakona.
That's not being recorded, right?